as we're dancing in the
What's up, everybody? This is me. You know me. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm bringing you a commentary. First day in my dorm room. I'm excited, but today's gonna be interesting. See if anyone interrupts me. We'll see how it works out. If they interrupt me, they're gonna ask me what I'm doing. I'm gonna say I'm making a commentary for YouTube. They're gonna be like, "Well, that's silly." I'm like, "Yeah, probably." Okay, so what you're gonna be watching is a little game of Demolition, and I do bad at first, but it works out. Yes, I'm using the AA-12. The game before this, they were using all the shotguns, so I'm like, how do you like it? Take AA-12 to the chin. But it doesn't work out so well, and I switch up weapons, and then I start raping, I think. I hope. And, today's gonna be a story about my past. Why am I so straight edge? I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm very straight, very one direction, and so this is why. My dad was a heavy drinker, and I did a lot of drugs, and I think from his rage from those drugs, that feared me enough to not want to do that and be a part of that. I didn't want to be a violent, abusive, deadbeat dad. So I figured if I stay away from alcohol and stay away from drugs, that I don't know how I missed that guy. If I stay away from alcohol and if I stay away from drugs, then I think I'll end up on the straight path. And that's not necessarily a true case, but in my mind it is, and I feel like sticking to it. My dad was around for the first 7 years of my life. He was the ages there 0 to 7, and after that he tried to do visits with us. He got divorced from my mom, and that went sour. Fucking noob tubes. I went sour, and he said, "Oh, I'll do visits with you. I love you kids, you know." Every time I said, "Yeah, right." And so he tried to do visits with us. We did them for a little while, and then he stopped doing them because he had to pay for it. My dad's pretty cheap as well. He made decent money, enough to pay for 5 kids, and yeah, that's plenty of money. And so he bailed on child support. He hasn't paid a dime with child support. He's just a deadbeat dad. I kind of wish he was there. And so I was also part of the program Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that's because my dad was nowhere to be found, so there needed to be at least some guy figure in my family. Because when my dad left, my 2 brothers and one of my sisters left, so it was just me and 1 sister out of 5 kids. So 3 of them left, 2 of them stayed, and so I was with my mom and my sister, all chicks. So there's no guy. So we got into Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I met this guy named James, and I was 8 years old at the time, and it's kind of funny how it turned out. I was 8 years old, and he would take me out every other week and go get a burger, basically. Maybe go sailing, go play tennis, go play football, go play basketball, go do something. And just to fill that void of doing nothing and just winding up in drugs, I think. And he's taught me more about being an upright citizen than anyone I know. And he's gotten to be pretty old. I still talk to him to this day. We've known each other for 10 years. And he's gotten pretty old. He started when he was 50, and now he's in his 60s, and since I've known him, he's had 4 boats. He sells them, reupholsters them, make them look beautiful, and then sells them for like half the price. I don't know why he does it. And then there's my first payload. There was. He's got a lot of boats, and so he tried to get me into boats, and he was gonna buy me a boat if I liked him enough. And I don't don't think I liked him. I didn't like sailing. I didn't like the cold wind in my face, giving me a headache, making my ears hurt. But I steered his boat. I drove his boat by myself. I showcased boats for him. He's a sailor. I mean, he's not a butt pirate. Don't think he's a pedophile. I don't want you guys ragging on him, because he's a good man. He is. And it's like, I looked at him more like, you know that badass grandpa that went to war a few times over and has a 1,000 life stories to tell. He's that guy. I wouldn't say he's like a father figure, but he's like that badass grandpa that you just, I don't know, I talked to him a lot. And he was gonna go to Vietnam, but he got in trouble for smoking weed, and he wanted to go to Vietnam because there's great weed in Vietnam. It's like, darn it, man, I want to go get some of that Viet Cong Kush, yo, bruh. And he grew up in a fairly wealthy family and still got into drugs. And he's like, I'd much rather you smoke weed than drink alcohol, because alcohol can make you rage. Weed just makes you stupid. You forget where your keys are. I remember laughing every time he told me that. And I don't know if you guys know already, but when I was younger and smaller, I got picked on a lot and called fag and asshole and punk bitch and all that. And he told me one day, I was having a hard time, and I think he could just read it. And he told me, if anyone calls you fag, stick up for yourself. Let me know, and we'll get it figured out. So, guy called me fag one time, beat the crap out of him. That's because James told me to, and that stopped all the bullying. Was that my third Pablo? This is a damn good game. So that's about my brother. He's a good man with a lot of stories to tell. He paid me $1,000 to get a 4.0 my senior year. He said, I will give you $1,000 if you get a 4.0 your senior year, because he knows I've been struggling with homework and I procrastinate a lot. I didn't do a whole lot of anything. I just was a tard and sat back and got D's and B's. And he's like, you get a 4.0, I'll give you $1,000. So that year, I got my 4.0, and that got me into San Jose State, where I am today. So thank you so much, James. It was a meaningful year. It was a huge triumph. I know he'll never listen to this because he doesn't even know how to use the internet very well. And so yeah, that was about my brother. And back to my dad, how he's kind of a deadbeat. He always, every time I saw him at an event, my graduation, my sister's graduation, a funeral, he'd always whisper in my ear, I'm always there for you. You can always need me if you need to. And he hasn't. It pisses me off that my dad, oh, if you need anything, let me know. I'll let him know. Hey, how about that $18,000 you're missing in child support? That can pay for my college. That'll help out a lot. And he just kind of shushes me. So that's pretty much the end of my commentary. Wanted you guys to know that's why I'm so straight edge, because my dad scares me into it. There's my final score, 41 and something. Got 3 Pablos. Peace.